Ronda Rousey appeared on episode 700 of Bertcast, the podcast by Bert Kreischer, and she did not hold back. She spoke about Khabib Nurmagomedov's legacy. She took shots galore and put the MMA fans on blast, and then discredit Joe Rogan as well. Ronda Rousey's back in the headlines. People, I've got a lot to say about this because I think she's absolutely in the wrong. So sit back, relax. Let's speak about it. Yes, people, hope you're all well. Please do subscribe if you're new to the channel and smash that like button. Look, without any further ado, I'm going to play what she said in the interview with Bert Kreischer. I believe that's how you spell it, say his name, Bert Kreischer. But look, I'm going to play it and I'm going to pause it every now and again because I'm going to speak about different things that she's saying. I'm going to debunk quite a lot of this. And look, we'll see what comes of it because I think it's pretty shocking, some of the things that she said. So without any further ado, let's get into it.
It's always bothered me, but in a weird way, you got to sit back and go, that's what they do, I guess.
Yeah, but it's also like MMA fans and media are the most "what have you done for us lately" crowd.
All right, so couple of sentences and I'm pausing already. Firstly, I noticed the black eye. We've also seen that she has been training again in MMA. She's spoken a lot about Dana recently. Dana's spoken about her. You got the White House card coming up potentially. Well, it looks like it's going to be happening next year. I don't know if she's doing this to stir the pot on purpose. I don't know if this is just, I think it's how she feels, but I don't know if there's more to it than that, if she's stirring the pot because she's preparing for a comeback. I know she said on the Breakfast Club with when Charlemagne asked her if she's returning, she said no. In this podcast itself, Bert asked her how much it would take for her to return. She said $1 billion. We've heard things like that before. So I don't know. Maybe I'm a bit of a conspiracy theorist. Maybe I just want to see her come back and compete one last time in the UFC, but that's the first thing I noticed. The black eye, that's quite prominent. But also, when she says MMA fans are the most "what have you done for me lately" fans, that's every sport. That is literally every single sport. Boxing's the same thing. After Canelo lost to Crawford, you've got people out there discrediting Canelo now. I'm a football fan. Soccer, if you're watching this in the USA. I'm a Liverpool fan. Like, we won the league last season, and myself included, we're complaining about how the team's playing this season. I'm sure it happens in basketball, baseball. It happens in every single sport. It is not just an MMA thing. So that's the first thing. Let's continue with what she's got to say.
Of any sport. Like you look at WWE and they have such a reverence for their legends. And at MMA, it's like the second that you're not on top, you're not shit and you never were shit.
Okay. WWE, I hear it. But WWE is scripted. So that's one thing. Second of all, WWE fans are very different to MMA fans. But again, she was treated harshly by WWE fans as well. If you ask most hardcore WWE fans what they think of Ronda Rousey, they'll say, yeah, she was very good in ring, but left a lot to be desired. She had a disconnect from the crowd. She wasn't loved and adored like she wanted to be. Hence why she left. So again, I'm not understanding what she's doing here. And she's labeling all MMA fans. Yeah, I do take this personally because you speak about all MMA fans, but she's labeling all MMA fans the same. All MMA fans aren't the same. She's speaking about a minority and using that as the barometer for all MMA fans. So again, I'm going to continue. Let's see.
That's it's almost heartbreaking to me because I have, for whatever moments, the people that are my heroes, the people that meant the most to me when I was coming up, no matter what that last fight they did, no matter what that looks like, I still look at them as heroes. I mean, I look at them all.
You're the exception though, because you brought Chuck Liddell. Chuck Liddell, when he's on top.
I'll let it play.
Oh my God, he's the best. The second that he loses, oh, Chuck Liddell ain't shit. He never was shit. You know? And then
Gotta stop it there. If I'm not mistaken, Chuck Liddell's last fight in UFC was against Rich Franklin. He lost that fight via knockout. He got applauded out of that arena. The commentary did a fantastic job of speaking about him as he left the arena. He was applauded out of the arena. Rich Franklin gave him respect as he was leaving. So for a start, that's a terrible example to use as Chuck Liddell. I'll let it play a bit more.
Rampage Jackson. Oh my God, he's the next Mike Tyson. He's so great. Second he loses, oh, Rampage ain't shit. He never was shit.
Yeah.
Rampage Jackson right now has one of the biggest followings on MMA in the MMA community because of the stuff he's doing on Kick. His last fight, if I'm not mistaken, was against Fedor. Came in out of shape, got knocked out quite early in the fight, was still loved and adored as he left that cage, and has been ever since. Despite even what's happened with his son and all of that stuff, Rampage is still loved and adored. So again, another terrible example to use. We'll continue the video.
GSP. Oh, he loses. He's not shit. He never was shit. Anderson Silva. Oh.
Wrong. GSP lost to Matt Serra, came back, avenged that loss. And after he lost that fight, people were shocked because it was such an upset, but no one called him crap. Then he lost also against Matt Hughes, avenged that loss by beating Matt Hughes, and he's now considered the GOAT by a lot of MMA fans. Loved and adored, respected by his peers, respected by journalists, analysts, content creators. You've probably used 3 of the worst examples possible. Again, I'll let this run.
Oh my God, he's like he was like almost a mythical creature for a while.
Yeah.
He was like this ninja, and he would hypnotize everyone in front of him. And second he loses, oh, Anderson ain't shit. He never was shit. Fedor Emelianenko.
Once again, Anderson Silva's last fight, if I'm not mistaken, in UFC was against Uriah Hall. And we all sat there and said we kind of wish he didn't take the fight because we knew he wasn't the same fighter anymore. But he still got applauded out of the arena. Jose Aldo, who she hasn't even mentioned, was recently in an event. They brought him out, serenaded him, and the whole crowd went crazy for him. Nate Diaz and Nick Diaz, 2 of her ex-training partners, 2 people she knows extremely well, 2 people she's trained with. Nick and Nate are loved globally. In the MMA community, they are adored. They have losses upon losses upon losses. Their last times in the cage, all right, Nate won against Tony Ferguson. Nick lost against Robbie Lawler. I didn't hear any boos after he took that, when he lost that fight. I didn't hear any, oh, get him out of there. He's crap. He's rubbish. He dead fighter. He's never any good. We all just sat there and said, look, that's not the Nick that we knew, man. We don't want to see him get hurt. He got clapped and cheered out of that building by his peers and by fans as well. What we do in Ronda, I let the video play even more.
Great, one of the greatest ever. Second he loses, oh, Fedor ain't shit. He never was shit. And I think the only reason that why MMA fans have their lips so firmly planted at the base of Khabib's cock is because he retired before he reached his limit. And
all right, let me firstly pause. I ain't got the base. I ain't got my mouth or lips at the base of anyone's cock. Pause again. Wrong on Khabib again. And before I even speak about Khabib, Max Holloway, we saw him get knocked out by Ilia Topuria. Guess who's still a fan favorite and loved by the fans? Oh, Max Holloway. We saw Volkanovski knocked out by Topuria, knocked out by Makhachev, back to back. Guess who's still loved and adored? Oh, guess what? Volk. Israel Adesanya, last fight, knocked out against Imavov. Guess who's still loved and adored? Adesanya. John Jones has had countless things that people could hate him for. Guess who's still loved and adored by a lot of the MMA community? John Jones. And guess who else? The person that you helped build this company to where it is at with, Conor McGregor. Yeah, guess who's loved and adored? But you know what is different about Conor McGregor to you, Ronda? It is how he took his losses. And I'll get back to that because I've got to speak about this Khabib thing. She sits there and says Khabib's only loved and adored because he finished undefeated. Wrong. On so many levels. I'll tell you why Khabib is loved and adored. I'm not even Muslim. I've got a lot of close friends and family members who are Muslim. So I'll always have a great respect for that religion. But I'm Christian. So I'm not even Muslim. But you know why Khabib is loved and adored? Because of how he honors and speaks about his religion, which is Islam. how he portrays himself as a Muslim. That's why he's loved and adored. 1. 2, how he's picked up his father's legacy. How he's utilized his father's legacy for good in his community. Not just the fact that he's undefeated, but also the domination he showed in the cage, his unwavering spirit, his pressure inside the cage, and his ability to finish guys who were seen as world beaters. His coaching. He's coaching champions. Usman Nurmagomedov almost coached Umar Nurmagomedov to a championship. Islam Makhachev. He's coaching champions and future champions and potential champions. His McGregor beef. He came out of that as good as you can, because everyone saw how he remained throughout the whole beef and what he did after it. And finally, his morals and how real he is. Khabib never put on an act. He never did anything that was out of character, apart from the brawl at UFC 202. Sorry, at 22, was it? I can't remember the name. Maybe, yeah, I can't remember the name. Don't put me trying. But that's why Khabib is loved, because of his morals, because of how he is as a human being. The fact that he can be looked at as, and people can go, that's someone who you can look at. That's a role model right there. So it's not because he's undefeated, because there's been countless undefeated fighters at one stage or another in MMA, especially in the UFC, who haven't been loved and adored like Khabib. So once again, you've got to get your facts straight, Ronda. I'll continue.
If he kept fighting until he reached his limit, everybody would be like, oh, Khabib ain't shit. He never was shit. And they're like that with everybody. Like name one person, you know?
No, I mean,
Brock ain't shit. He never was shit. Name one past champion that has that the kind of respect that the current champions do. And it's
how long you got? Daniel Cormier, Anderson Silva, Chuck Liddell, Cain Velasquez, Stipe Miocic, John Jones, Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson, Dominic Cruz, Jose Aldo, Max Holloway. Do I have to continue? And I'm not even getting at Bert here because he's doing an interview. And I know how awkward it can be in interviews when stuff like this happens. But I kind of wish he pushed back a little bit. I do wish he pushed back a little bit. And again, I don't want to be critical of him, because I could be in this situation one day and someone could be chopping up my content saying, oh, I wish Cal pushed back a little bit. So this isn't even Bert's fault, but I just wish he pushed back a little bit here, because what she's saying here, in my opinion, is complete fabrications and lies.
It's really sad, because I think it encourages people to try and get out while they're peaking and leaving and taking all of that equity with them instead of passing it on to whoever's next to take up the mantle. And it's something that I wanted to retire undefeated, because I was so afraid of, like, oh, everything that I've accomplished is going to be nothing if I ever lose. So I have to retire undefeated. And it wasn't until I got into the WWE and saw that, wait, you have to retire on a loss. That everybody in the WWE has to retire on a loss, because you have to pass that torch on. And I think everyone in MMA is they're gonna try and take the torch with them, because
WWE is scripted. MMA is not scripted. So what, do you want someone in there? Let's use John Jones as an example. He's got the one loss on his record, which is a DQ loss. Let's use John Jones, for example. Is he meant to go out there and purposely lose to Tom Aspinall if they fight? Was he meant to go out there and lose to Cyril Gane on purpose and go, oh, you know, I've had my time. Cyril, you can get the win here. I'll just ride off in this. No, it's a fight, Ronda. It's a real life fight. WWE is scripted, hence why you can do the passing of the torch, hence why you can build up a storyline like Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. You can't do that in MMA. It either happens organically or it doesn't happen at all, because this is real life. And I'm never, ever going to dump on WWE, because those athletes are incredible. They take real bumps, real injuries, real bumps and bruises. I'll never discredit what they do. But in terms of the ethos behind both things, one is scripted, the other one is not. Come on, what are we doing here? What are we literally doing here? It makes no sense. And when she speaks about the whole loss situation, the reason why MMA fans may be like this to you is because of how you handled your losses. The fact that you alienated yourself and distanced yourself from MMA fans. The fact that you wouldn't do interviews, you wouldn't let anyone in, you wouldn't speak to any MMA fans or MMA journalists or content creators or anything. Now you're going and doing the rounds for whatever reason. Maybe you want to promote things and do all that stuff. Fair enough. But you didn't do that at the time. Look at when Dominic Cruz lost to Cody Garbrandt, how he took that loss and how he came out and addressed the media. Look at Conor McGregor when he lost to Nate Diaz, how he came out and addressed the media. George Masvidal after he lost to Kamaru Usman the second time. All these fighters lost. They didn't go hiding. They came out and they took their L and they spoke about it. Amanda Nunes after she lost to Juliana Pena. They all came out and spoke. They all explained what was their situation, what happened. And they all became more loved and adored for it.
Of how the fans respond to it. And then the fans, a lot of them have never fought. It's not like football where a lot of people who watch it have done football. And they don't understand how short your shelf life is and how every fight changes you. You know, even if the fight you came out unscathed, you didn't come out of the training camp unscathed. And you know, you can't keep it up for very long. It's just the human body. You're taking impacts to the head. This is your fucking brain. You know, you can't make your brain stronger or more calloused. It's just, there's a limit to how much you can take. And
that bit, what she just said there, I completely, undeniably agree with. There is a limit. And we as fans, I'm myself guilty of it as well. We have to do better at knowing when to just stop calling MMA fighters to continue fighting. We have to say, you know what, he's fought 3 times this year, or she's fought 3 times this year. Leave her be, let her chill. Let him chill. We need to be better at that. But I tell you what, if you're going to call out the fans for that, why don't you call out Dana White, who you've been so quick to praise over the last few weeks? Isn't he the promoter who's making these fights? Isn't he the one that went to Aljamain Sterling and said, you need to take the Sean O'Malley fight? Isn't he the one who's saying to Merab, yeah, go for your 4th fight? Isn't he the one who's putting pressure on fighters to fight at certain times of the year or put on more than one fight, or then come out to the media when Tom Aspinall can't continue the fight because he can't see out of an eye and say he doesn't want to continue? Isn't it Dana White who comes out and says, don't leave it in hands of the judges? Isn't it him who says these things? It's not us. It's the promoter. It's Dana White. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Look, I'm going to remove her from the screen now because, as I said, really wound me up watching that interview and watching that particular bit. In fact, I'll bring her back on the screen, actually, because I want to get to the bit where she speaks about Joe Rogan, because, again, I think this is highly disrespectful and just unnecessary as well. So where does she speak about it? Here it is. Where are we? Joe Rogan.
It's interesting. Is that how you feel about you?
I'll go with that.
Going, how long do I get to train?
It's right now. Now or never.
Do you know, I was just talking to Joe on the walk over, and all it takes is a text going, how long for me to train to beat Ronda? That'll never happen.
He wouldn't know. He's not an expert. He's a fan with an audience.
How disrespectful is that? Like, how disrespectful is that? Do you know how much Joe Rogan put Ronda Rousey over when she was fighting? Joe Rogan was one of the first people to say, yeah, she'd mess Mayweather up in a fight. Joe Rogan was singing her praises louder than anyone else. And she goes and disrespects him like that. And yeah, Joe Rogan is an expert. Did he fight in MMA in the UFC? No. But I guarantee you, Joe Rogan absolutely destroys a lot of people in a fight. He's trained. He's watched MMA for more years than I can count. Just disrespects on a whole nother level. Look, people, I'm going to wrap up the video here. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section. So please do let me know. And look, Ronda's entitled to her opinion. That's fair. But if you're going to say things that you think are facts, then have something to back it up. Because respectfully, everything she said here, apart from pushing fighters to their limit, was a bunch of nonsense and BS. So look, people, Smash the like button if you agreed with what I'm saying in this video. Leave your comments if you agree or disagree. Subscribe to the Sanderson Show. Till I see you next time. Thanks for watching and listening. Mind how you go.